Welcome back to the Nurturers Pod. We got Dean with us this week, the founder and CEO of D2C Paid Ads. Super happy to have you here and excited to just dive into things. How's your Friday treating you, man?
Pretty well. Finishing up the week strong and going into Memorial Day weekend now, right? Yeah, everything's great.
Yes, sir. Do you have any? Good, man. Glad to hear it. Where are you calling in
Mhm.
from?
Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah.
You're in Nashville. Okay, cool, cool. Is that how you met Nicholas, or
Yeah,
how did
so
you guys get in touch?
I got in touch with Nick Reed, Nick with 25 Media, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So with Nick, it was, man, I've known him for about 5, 6 years now. And a good friend of
Oh,
ours,
nice.
Chandler Welling, he owned a digital agency, Welling Media, a while ago. Now he has a racing simulation company. It's pretty sweet. But he
No
introduced
way.
us through Instagram. Yeah, just common
Okay.
common interests, and I think he dropped Nick a line, and he's like, "Hey, I think you guys would be a good fit." I don't know what the premise was, but I think it was just one friend looking out for another, and I knew
Nice.
Chandler, and from that he moved from Utah to Nashville, and then now he's
Hmm.
he's also here in Nashville as well. So it's a pretty big
Good
hub
stuff.
for the whole like digital marketing community.
Yeah, that's
Hmm
crazy. That's super cool. I have some cousins who live out there. But no, I didn't realize that. That's amazing. I didn't realize that they have like this marketing community out there, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
really big
So
hub.
cool,
Hmm
man. Well, good stuff. Well, tell me a little bit more how you kind of got your foot in the door into like digital marketing, and how, I mean, just high level, I guess, how you've kind of
Like
gotten
how
to where
everything
you are
started.
today. Yeah.
Yep. So also, if it does pick up in the background, I guess the gardeners decided to start right when we started recording this. So just
Oh, good, man.
relieving the anxiety, the social anxiety of that. I'll try my best.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it first started out in San Diego, California. That's where I grew up. And then from there, I graduated college and had my business degree, but didn't really know, I guess, where to go. And I really liked Facebook advertising. I was doing lead generation
Oh,
for a
nice.
lot of local businesses. And then I found a lot of success with social media advertising. And then I started exploring web design and taking on new opportunities. And it's funny, for the longest time, people thought I was like the like social media guy. That's what I was labeled as, and I was like, I just do Facebook. But I noticed I was like taking on every project, so that wasn't
Interesting.
good
Yeah.
at all. So slowly but surely, as the years moved on, 11 years later, doing a lot of paid media and a lot of direct to consumer paid media. So that's working with like high ticket brands or brands that use online stores like Shopify or Webflow to bring in revenue for their company. That's what we use with social media advertising to kind of bring in passive revenue sources. So as it
There you go.
continues to like refine itself, we are also stepping into like local businesses and finding other partners with other agencies. But for the most part, yeah, we're just focusing on paid media on social channels.
Very nice, man. That's no, it's super cool. I think it's crazy, and a lot of people don't realize how much potential that paid media has once you know what you're doing. Because I know I've played around with ads a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean they've been decent, but it's never been enough for me to like dive in heavily and make it my thing. But no, that's incredible, man. I think it's super impressive. Just like you were able to kind of go and find those local businesses and be known as like the social media guy, which I mean, obviously at the beginning, just getting any type of business, I'm sure was a win. But
Yeah.
as you've been able to scale and grow, kind of finding that niche that you like and turn it into your full-time gig, man, is incredible. So, no, that's super cool. And I think just like overall, it sounds like you kind of like out of college, you're trying to figure out what you want to do, and you kind of fell into this with a business degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure it out. So taking a step back to Dean in high school through college, what were some of like your passions? I know in the few questions that I asked you before the podcast, You said that the most important thing to you was friends, in high school specifically. But
Hmm.
yeah, tell me a little bit more about like what those passions were, what they consisted of throughout high school, leading into college, etc.
Yeah. So I guess growing up, even before high school, I did a lot of competition karate,
Okay.
and it's like Goju karate. So there's like Taekwondo, and then there's Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and there's all these other stuff. But I think it was more just the discipline that I really started to, I guess, crave as I
Mm.
got older and older. And then I went to a really cool high school where we had like wood shop and stuff, and I wanted to get into auto shop, but I guess there was like welding and stuff, and I liked working with wood, so that was cool. But did like wood shop and all those things throughout high school. Of course, I noticed really quickly, like a lot of people, you learn in life as you keep growing up, like you're going to transition away from your friends, and your friends are going to outgrow you. And sometimes it's hard to be on the other side if your friends outgrow you, where it's like, man, I was maybe slacking in this area, or you're the one where you're like, this is unfortunate. I love these people, but I'm gonna wish them the best and send them on their way.
Hmm.
So there's obviously life's progressions of that, but I think socially, I didn't have quite a lot of friends. I had very few, but I was friendly with everyone. So I
Gotcha.
really understood that at someday. I was also friends with other kids at other high schools because I realized I was like, oh, well, there was just a silly, like, oh, we don't talk to those kids that go to those schools.
Yeah.
And I was like, it just didn't make sense to me. So I was like, that's dumb. So I think because I didn't have a lot of like good friends in one high school, I
Hmm.
just went and searched for as many opportunities and then like activities. I think it's just a progression of trying all the things. I tried skating and like I got pretty good to like an ollie and like
There you go.
grinding or something. I don't know. And I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't skate. I love snowboarding, surfing.
Nice.
But then it always came down to I was like a secret nerd. And so like I'd come back home and then I'd try to build stuff with businesses and now it's great to be able to wake up and say like uh, I'm not really waking up to need any validation from anyone, and I'm
Mm.
not needing to have engagements with other people for some manipulative beneficial factor.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I love what I do every day, and we have a small team now within our company, and it's like, I knew I do something in marketing, and it's like I feel like if you have your calling and understanding of where you're going to go in 1 year, 5 years, or at least if you just like if you have a general idea, it's like the large majority don't even know.
Yeah.
So it's like I knew if I stayed busy, then I'd at least be set up better than majority of other people. And then they always say like if you fail a lot, like it doesn't matter. So I was like, once someone told me that, I was like, cool, don't gotta tell me twice.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you're young and you're trying to figure things out. I think it's more
Yeah.
important that you do fail almost. And when you do fail, you're able to take those as more of a learning opportunity, to take further down the road, and just add
Mm-hmm.
that onto your experience for sure. But diving back a little bit into high school where you said like you didn't care about the social norms. You were going out
Mm-mm.
there, you were making friends with everyone. Sounds like you were networking without really calling it networking, right? Just like getting
That's
to know
such
everyone in the area.
I think I hate that term.
Do you really?
No,
Networking?
I love networking, of course,
Yeah.
but it's like if we were like great networking opportunities, it's when I think our with college we were forced into like figuring out opportunities or figuring out healthy ways. Like we never were taught how to have healthy business partnerships. Like
Mm, yeah.
so there's a lot of things where it's like there's a lot of people that are trying really hard but they don't know how to express expectations and so it's like I just
Yeah.
think I figured out at a really early age. It's like, oh, it's okay if like we're engaging because you want something out of me. Oh, okay. Well, is it okay? What are your intentions? So
Right.
it's like I was friendly with a lot of people, but like at the end of the day, I understand that if at best if they're having a great day, they still probably at some surface level, and it's not bad, but there's probably some transactional thing
Mm,
that someone technically wants, whether to leverage for better social status or to be the cool kid, or because then So I think I figured that out. I was like, oh, you guys, it's cool to skateboard and you guys can skateboard and you're talented at it. And that's why you're seen as cool. And, so
Interesting, yeah.
I think I picked that up where it's like I went to an artsy school. So it's like, oh, if you were in the other college that is heavy into football, like you guys would probably be made fun of. And then that's where it's just like, oh, I can see this. This is why I'm able to have friends with other schools, you
Yeah.
know?
Interesting. Yeah, no, that's a really good take on it because I agree with you. A lot more times than not, people when they go about networking or whatever, however you want to call it, it's not
Mm-hmm.
genuine. Like people are wanting something on the other end, right? So I
Yeah.
think going back to that, definitely the way that you went about it, just making friends and connecting with people genuinely, and sharing those interests was super important.
Mm-hmm.
But I think another thing that you said was going out there and just like trying different things, right?
Yeah.
Trying skateboarding. If you never tried skateboarding, like I don't know, I just feel like it definitely opens up those opportunities, if you want to call them opportunities or not, to meet different people
Mm-hmm.
that share similar interests as you. So, no, that's super cool. And you also mentioned that in high school, your work or just like getting through high school was
Yeah.
kind of like your what was important to you, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I guess expound a little bit more on that. Was high school, and I'll throw in college as well. Like, um, was that something that you uh enjoyed, or was it more of like a work? Like, it was kind of more of like a struggle, I guess, or like you just had to go and grind to get it
Yeah.
done.
Um, I think I lied to myself about the whole like hustle culture where I was like, I'm putting in all the work and it's like the majority of 80% of people are probably outworking you and they're not talking about it
Hmm.
and they're not prideful in their work or, since probably so I think I had an unhealthy relationship with like needing to provide, and then there's I think so growing up in San Diego, there's a big social status where it's like well, you're getting made fun of because your parents didn't buy you an exotic car, and you're just stoked that you got like a Toyota Camry, So
Yeah.
it's like, if that's who we're dealing with, well, I'm gonna have a hard time being firm in my identity, So it's like, then if I'm sitting here, I'm like, we're kind of forced to go to this place. This is strange to me. And then once I figured out, speaking of failure, why I guess I was like going through college and high school and college, I graduated 2 years early for both.
Oh wow,
Not
good
because
for
I
you.
was smart, but for one simple thing. Freshman year, I was taking English, and I had a really hard time with reading. I'm really good at math, and I'm really good with analytical stuff, and I have great vision, and I'm very creative. Reading is really hard sometimes still I have to do an audiobook and then I also have to, with the audio, read the book as well. Or I just schedule double the time so I know to be patient. But
Yeah.
besides the point, I really tried hard and I got a D minus in English. And then I had another class in woodshop where I kind of just didn't do the projects and I made all great woodshop stuff, but he wanted to prove a point and he gave me a D minus as well. And then I noticed on my report card, I only got in trouble for the English one. And then I asked, I think I like asked my dad, I said, what are they going to do if I don't get it up? And like, he's from South Africa, so they're really intelligent and they're really private, like, they're really smart. South Africans know a lot of languages when they go to school and stuff, what
Mm-hmm.
I've heard. Um, and it's like, my mom's great at reading, so it makes sense, at least so he's just like, oh, they just let Americans through. I go, what? And he goes, yeah. He's like, it doesn't matter. He's like, it matters for this household, but he's like, to answer your question, it doesn't matter. And that was scary to me. And then and then I was like, oh, so this is just a place where, so school's great. And, there's probably a lot of areas where I should have taken things more seriously. But with high school and college, I then realized there's like curriculums and then there's also hybrid programs. So then I had the opportunity to either lower what I was doing and become less of a good person and like become a loser, to be honest, nicely. Or, because a lot of kids just worked a part-time job and then worked at 7-Eleven or a gas station, and then they went and surfed and smoked weed on the beach. And then the other people were like, oh, well, let's go to a charter school, wrap up this whole high school thing in a year. I'll just work through summer. And then I realized, oh, shoot, I'm now finishing grades before people, and you're like smoking weed on the beach. And I was like, no problem with relaxing. I get it. But it's like, what are we doing here? So then when I went to college, I tried to slow down. And then with college, I realized the same thing. Oh, we can do it online. Why am I in a dorm? I'm an adult. You can't tell me what to do. I'll just go. And they were like, you chose to be here. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm out. I'll do an online school then. So I went to the same university, and I went all the way and got my degree. But at the end of the day, of course, I was networking and working and trying to figure things out. If you do the math, it's like back when I got my degree, like the average income was 2,500 or like 35,000, not 100, sorry, 35,000 a year. And it's like, and then once you get a good job and all that, you're at like 50,000. So rent's pretty expensive in California. I was like, I can't provide. And I was like, well, this is silly. I went to college to provide, and I can't provide with a degree. So, so obviously there's other people that make way more money that did like brain surgeon stuff. And so I get the system, but, yeah, so accelerating through that was very interesting for me.
That is interesting. And I think, I don't know, this is just my own take, but I feel like college degree and going through those hoops are coming less and less prevalent in today's society. Like,
Yeah, how old
um,
are you?
I'm 24.
Yeah, no, it's rough. If you're gonna be a doctor, totally go do the degree thing. If
Absolutely.
if if not, shoot, my degree I think was like 50,000 or 60,000. Like you could pay someone $60,000 that's a millionaire to just shadow him and be like, tell me everything. And then
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you don't get it within a month, like if you hung around someone that was making $1 million a month, like for every single thing, every meeting, every contract, I would I would save $60,000, and then I'd just go hang out with a millionaire if there's any millionaire that wants to do that. Like,
Right. No, 100%. I think, yeah, just having the experience and being able to learn from someone who's done what you want to
or you
accomplish
can
in life.
fail for 40, if you fail for $40,000, like let's say you try to start a business and you
Hmm.
burn through your savings. You're like, now I'm down to zero. And it's like, cool, 80% of the population is paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
You're now average, and you tried, and you probably will, do it for another year, and then you'll make money.
Yeah. No, exactly. And I think it's so important that you're able to go out and do that kind of stuff, right? Have
Yeah.
those kinds of experiences. And yeah, like you said, if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, I think it's definitely super important. Obviously, you have to go get that degree, but
Why do you think it's changing like this?
I feel like people just value that experience so much more. And if you're able to go in and accomplish what they're needing to be done, why I don't think the piece of paper validates anything. Like,
Yeah.
if you're able to get those results, right? So it's more just of I don't know, my own personal opinion. I think it's
ChatGPT messed it up for everyone, dude. The college systems are
I know,
pissed.
man. It's wild. I think it's gonna be super curious. I'm super curious to see what's gonna happen over the course of the next couple years, especially.
Winners are gonna win and losers are gonna lose.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I think the
Hmm.
people who learn how to use Chat GPT, dude, like they're gonna be unstoppable. They're gonna be able to
It's just way quicker.
do 10 times the amount of work. Exactly. So,
Use
um,
ChatGPT and then stack it with someone that knows what they're doing to
yeah.
validate the robot.
Yeah.
Way
No,
quicker.
literally though. Yeah. Yeah. They can do all the basic stuff
Hmm.
and then you can go and
Just
sort
hire a
through the.
smart guy for 1 hour, not 40.
Yeah. Yep.
Love it.
No, 100%, man. I
Hmm.
think it's definitely changing a lot of things. And it already was. I felt like it already was before, especially if you're in marketing or sales or
Yeah.
anything in the business world. Like, that's all experience that you can go and get from working with someone or working at a company or whatever. You don't necessarily need
If
a business
ChatGPT or
degree.
any of these AI, I think if ChatGPT and any of these AIs take your job, like if you're just like as a marketer, you
Hmm.
probably were never a good marketer to begin with, or no, not a good one. You probably weren't like ahead of it or original enough, and you were probably making money off of regurgitating the knowledge of other marketers. You know,
Interesting.
so
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's like you can have I have four other friends that are good at ads, and I have countless friends that do exactly what I do that are way better than me.
Yeah.
So it's like the harsh reality is we learn from each other. So it's like imagine the bottom feeders that weren't really putting in the time properly, and they were
Hmm.
just using, so it's that's why I think failing is really important, because it's like, have you been able to go out and produce $40,000 because you got an overhead burn rate? It's like only someone that really has done that is going to be confident when there's no results in front of them and they know what's going to happen, you
Yeah.
know?
No, I agree 100%. And diving a little bit more into that, so let's go into more of your journey. So you knew that
Hmm.
you were going to be a marketer. You didn't really know what other people wanted you to do coming out of high school, but you knew you wanted to be a marketer.
Yeah, I
Um,
maybe
s-
had like 3 months of clarity. Like,
okay,
oh, this, like, for sure should have picked one thing and
okay,
just, if I just called myself the Facebook advertising kid, that
yeah.
could have got me 5 years and so many millions of dollars.
So where did you learn this skill though? I mean, did you just start approaching these small businesses and say, "Hey, let me run your ads
I
for
helped
you"?
family and friends for free.
Okay.
And if one out of the 10 people that I helped for free made money, that like clout was really awesome.
Yeah.
So it's like I played paintball and then I managed a paintball store. So if
Hmm.
I put out a cool email ad campaign and the boss gets some sales off of it and it's cool, like that was like, oh, maybe in the future I can do this.
Okay.
Like every second of working is this. Like that would be really cool. So that's kind of where it came from.
Okay. So you had this interest, you approach friends, family, whatever,
Hmm.
and you're like, let me just
For
do this
like
for you.
for free for 3 years.
Okay, three
So
years.
any free time. So like let's say you did all your things and like today it's like 3 o'clock, gonna go hang out by the pool with the family later on.
Hmm.
If I was 19, I'd then do free work until around 11 or 12.
Interesting. Was this while you were in college then? Or high school even?
All the way through college. I started doing my own, yeah. So maybe even long, like I still do free work also, by the way. So our
Oh, wow.
agency generates over 6 figures, and I'll probably give out this year like $120,000 in free agency services to bigger whales in the, like a real estate agent that has a brokerage that does a lot, a wealth
Wow.
management firm that needs consulting. Like I'll I'll literally go to do anything. If money's good and we're set, even if we're not, like the extra time should be, I'm 29. Like what else am I doing with my time? I'm not married. So what, I don't know.
What
I
else?
enjoy it. I
Yeah.
enjoy it. So it's like it's cool. Like I'll schedule a meeting with our like tracking app partner, and she owns an app company that tracks all of our revenue for our clients, and I'll talk to her for 2 hours about setting things up better. And then I'll
Yeah.
talk to this other agency that is stomping me, and whatever I made last year, they made last week. And I'll talk to him and I'll be like, hey, show me a screenshot of that Shopify store that was 1 million in sales again. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one day. Oh my gosh. Like, so I'll do everything needed until I have children to build what I'm building.
I love it, dude. That's a really good approach. And I think enjoying it is only that much more important as well. The fact that you enjoy and you're able to go and do all this free work and have these conversations and you genuinely are having a good time doing it,
Hmm.
I think at the end of the day is gonna make you that much more successful. Because yeah, it's not work for you
Yeah.
necessarily,
Well,
right?
one big thing, people always say they want to love what they do. I have yet to see love, the actual definition of love. It's like patient, kind, and doesn't take account of the wrongdoings. So if you love what you do and you quote unquote have a bad week, that's exposing that you don't love what you do, because now you have a list of wrongdoings that now you feel a certain type of way. And I thought you loved your business and I thought it was worth it. Why are you complaining?
Mm.
So when I wake up and I love what I do and I look at my Slack and there's 12 clients that all need something, there's a payroll problem or something didn't link, and then there's a tracking, and there's some, I thought you wanted this,
Yeah.
or is it a problem? So I love what I do, but it's like there are a lot of times when I'm very aware that I'm doing this because I know one day it'll be set up different, you know? And
Yeah.
it's hard. That's why people say it's lonely at the top. It's not lonely at the top. You're getting discouraged and you think you're doing this alone because you usually get caught up in like discouragement, you know? But it's like I thought part of the puzzle was majority of all of it's failing. It's like, so if I'm out here failing and you're like, you failed a lot. It's like, yeah, I'm sticking to the plan, dummy.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
For
someone
sure.
needs to say like, hey, this Shopify store, this industry rate gets over 2%. You don't need to know numbers and everything for everyone not knowing Shopify stores. E-commerce brands, if it converts at a 2%, thumbs up, good. You go to a Shopify and a client's like, this is at zero point 0.8. It's supposed to be at 2. When I say I know how to fix that, it comes from because I, at one point in time, probably had a Shopify shop getting 2, and guess what happened? It went down to an 8. And no one is trying to hear the story about you lost a client, you failed, you then looked back at the failure, figured out the problem, and then now you know how to solve things, you know?
Yeah.
So people are like trying to sell people on how great they are, and they're not telling people the problem and how they can help solve the problem, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah, and how they yeah gain
And
that
then also having
experience.
like some people need the money. So they're like, oh, I can help you. And then if it fails, they're like, well, that's the standard. We never knew it wouldn't work out. And it's like, no, you never were man enough to own up and, wait for don't do all this fast money.
Yeah.
That was cool
Yeah.
when you were trying to make rent. If rent's made, why are you still doing that type of stuff, And
Yeah.
that's
It's a
why I
really good
stayed
point.
friends with few, not everyone.
Yeah.
Because you got to be around people that understand that it's like, if you're taking a loss and you call your friend about how you took a loss, I don't expect my friend to sit there and tell me the sympathy talk of how they feel bad. I want them to be like, that's not like you. You usually are successful. Where did you fail? What's going on? Where's the support?
Yeah.
So,
Dive into those hard
hmm
questions and have those hard conversations to figure out how you can win next time for sure.
yeah, but we're
Um,
winning, so we never have those conversations.
there you go. I love to hear it, man. That's amazing. Well, cool, man. Just a couple more questions for you
Sure.
then.
Yeah.
I know that you said that you would have done things a little bit differently. So I wanted
hmm
to dive in a little bit to that. What you wish you would have changed, how you think if you would have changed those things, it would have led you to be either more successful quicker, or
Yeah.
why you kind of said that.
Um, I think it's okay to want to be profitable. And the term like chasing money, if you have goals to hit, you should quote unquote chase the money and get your goals. But I think it's the intentionality behind it. And I wish someone explained to me like what would be beneficial in the harder times when you are not going to be so profitable. And I wish I had the humility to like think about, hey, we should probably go to therapy for limited beliefs or things that, it's like go talk to someone that's really a lot older than you with a lot of experience, and don't try to talk about how great you are, and just go more in the open mind of like, hey, you're at this place in life and I want to be in that place in life. And these things are happening and these are my beliefs and this is what are there things that you're seeing that are misaligned? Because of course I'm always like, no, I'm working so hard, I'm hustling. One
Hmm.
day it'll come. And it's just like, well, if you're doing low quality work and mindset and low quality everything, if you do that more, you're just gonna get more pile of crap. And then people get butthurt because they're not successful,
Yeah.
but it's like I really, really had to talk to a lot of people that I would have tried to one up all the time. And it's like I had to have a lot of friends where I had to be firm in my identity. So it's like that's really the only thing. Um, because it's like, of course I want a lot of money. Of course I want a really nice sports car. Of course I want all the, but more importantly, it's like you want your family good. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
you want to be healthy, and it's like you can tell when someone's been struggling because you can tell that they're acting some sort of way, or it's just like it's really easy to get into the must be nice syndrome. So there no comparison, and then also understanding, of course that's like all emotional or whatever, but the very direct, the what would I do different, I would go to financial literature organizations, and I would learn how to properly set up my taxes, and I would learn what a lot of money is. So the quote unquote, I want to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Go to a banker and ask them what a lot of money is. Then ask the banker, what do I need to have this type of life? Because I was just like, I want to make the millions.
Yeah.
That's
And it,
that's that's not even elementary. That's a 4-year-old. And you're grown, like there's grown men out there with families that currently have children that don't understand what it really takes just because they're sitting without wisdom.
yeah. Yeah.
It's like, go talk to a banker. Bankers know money. Go talk to two bankers. you know, it's like
Yeah.
that's what I probably wished I did, because then it's like, oh, that dad with the minivan with 4 kids, his burn rate's 15,000 a month, and I'm out here acting like I'm cool because I made 5 grand last month. That's a dad in a minivan with kids. Like his burn rate is 15 grand. He's
Yeah.
more of a real baller than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ballers
No.
like got it like that. So I guess that's where humility comes in. Getting an actual understanding of what money is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's super good. I
It's
think
so simple.
it is simple. No, I love how simple it is because yeah, anyone can go out there and have conversations like that. But I think having a good grasp on how to do your taxes, how to make that kind of money, and having those conversations definitely can give you a lot better direction
Well, I
on where
undercharged.
you should go.
That was the
Really?
biggest thing too. I undercharged because I didn't know what a lot of money was. So I was like, "Oh man, if my half of the rent gets covered, that's a lot."
Yeah, yeah. But in reality, when you're comparing it to other people or
Yeah,
what
so
good
it's like,
money is, it's like, nah,
let's
nah.
just say you did work really hard and you are broke, and you did get that meeting with that exec and you didn't know what a lot of money to him was.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
it's okay if you're broke, but it's not okay if you think that everyone else is broke.
right. Yeah. Because people, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think it's Alex Hermosi who says if you can solve the problems for rich
Mm-hmm.
people, you're going to get
So
paid a
true.
lot better, right? So
Yeah.
being able to figure out those different solutions and
Yep.
ways to do that, I think is super important. But yeah, not undercharging as well.
Yeah, not undercharging, not over like the same campaign. I won't go on a tangent. The same campaign that I managed accounts for 500 a month,
Hmm.
and I set 2 campaigns up. Now we spend tens of thousands of dollars with the same structure.
That's insane.
So, if
Uh,
you really don't get this, if you can hold your weight in the room and you can understand proper business and you can really be that guy, a lot of comfort in knowing that all this hard work and wisdom is going to pay off if you can make yourself position yourself that way.
yeah, no, I love that, man. Super, super good.
Yeah.
And then the last thing was you said that if you could look back on yourself in high school, you would
Hmm.
say not to take things as seriously.
Yeah.
Um, why is that? Why do you think looking back that would be your one piece of advice?
If we repurpose this for social, it's going to be so funny. I have so many friends that contradict with this guy. A few years back, I was able to have dinner at this guy Dave Ramsey's house, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he lives down the road from me. Well, his new house, I don't know where his new house is, but his old house when I was there is right down the road from me. And have you ever heard when parents like reprimand you or correct you, and then you say why, and they say because I said so?
Yep.
Yeah. So when I read that question to on your form, and we were like going over and thinking about it, it's because Dave Ramsey said so. So after
Okay.
dinner, we were sitting down below. He had a killer like cigar, private cigar thing, and it had a glass, had glass doors, um, and it had like this humidifier, so the smoke wasn't in the room. It was crazy.
Wow.
He had every single bourbon and every single cigar you could choose. So, and he sat everyone down. There's like 8 of us, and he's like, "This is where we go whenever we have to talk about problems and figure things out." He goes, "This is when we come together." He goes, "And we go after it." And there was a bunch of people. There was like a guy that sells like hundreds of thousands of cell phones or like just big business stuff that obviously I should not have been there. Like it was not hard to see that I was not quote unquote qualified, but perfect example of how God puts you in the right positions. So
Right,
we were
for sure.
sitting there and he looks at me and he goes, "Young man, what?" He was like, "What are you currently going through?" And I just looked at him. I was like, "What would you do? Or what would you say to someone that was going through what you were going through when you were my age?" And he just said, "Don't be so hard on yourself." I said, "Thank you." And that's it.
Hmm.
Like, I wasn't trying to learn how to make a bunch of money, and I was there to enjoy hanging out in this man's cigar lounge that he has in his basement of his house. And this guy, Tom Black, supplied the wine, and he was telling us there was more wine glasses than I ever seen. And perfect example. It's like you go around people that you get to experience things so you can understand, what real quality is about. And even if you disagree with what they do and, the standards or everything, uh, it's pretty cool to go to a house with two gates. It's pretty cool to have someone be super kind to you and not try to, full circle, not try to network, you know? And it's like,
Yeah.
it's enjoyable and peaceful because it's not, it must be nice. It's because he wakes up and he doesn't need anything from you. So it's like when I was back in high school, it's like, if you guys like me, that's great. But like, if I can't skateboard, you guys won't like me. And like, if I do woodshop here and I go to that school, then I get made fun of. It's like, I'm not going to wake up to be loved by you guys. It's like, it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
100%. That's a really cool story. Thank you for sharing. I think that is, yeah.
Thanks,
I
Dave
mean,
Ramsey.
yeah, Dave Ramsey, thank you.
Thanks.
That's
I appreciate it.
it's really cool that you had that experience that you're able to go and just meet and chat with them and
Yeah,
get
but that's like
real.
everyone. It's like you can run into people that are really great everywhere, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Can't just can't have the stigma of like people are glorified and better. It's
Mm,
like they're just people.
people are people. At the end of the day, they are.
Yeah.
100%, man. Well,
Word
cool.
man.
Okay, well, that's it for me, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you hopping on here. And if
of
people want to
course.
connect with you, where can they find you at?
Bring snacks.
Bring
It's,
snacks.
yep, it's on Instagram. I don't need any
Cool.
business. I don't care for any networking. But if you want to follow me or chat or whatever, it's just bring snacks. Yeah.
I love it. It's a great name. Is there any backstory behind that, or you just love snacks?
I could make up. It's like Lil Wayne that says, "And the F is for," and then he has 100 things. I don't know. I love snacks, or it's just catchy. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like it.
My
I think
buddy
it's
and I made
clever.
it up long time ago, and
Okay.
it's like Post Malone. He put it in a word generator, and then he's
Mm.
like, now Post Malone. Uh, I fit the name, I guess now.
There you go. Bring snacks.
Love it,
Good
man.
stuff, man. Okay, well, I appreciate
Cool.
you. Have a good weekend,
Of
and
course.
we will be in touch.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.